You're watching KUJH-TV, Lawrence. KUJH-TV News starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Juliana Tidwell.
And I'm Brittany Clampett. Thanks for joining us.
If you've ever had your cell phone die while you still have hours of class left, listen up. KU Student Body President Hannah Bolton and Vice President Brandon Woodard are currently working to install 20 charging stations with attached power cords in convenient locations across campus. These stations will have 9 charger cords, including iPhone, Universal Micro, and many USB ports. The stations will come at no cost to students, as the KU Information Technology Office will pay the estimated cost of $9,000. If you bring your power cord with you, the benches on Westco Beach currently have power outlets to use until the charging stations are available in the spring semester.
With finals just around the corner, the KU Information Technology Office is making life a little bit less stressful for students. Starting on December 3rd, each KU student will receive an extra $8 in free printing that's good at any library on campus. The additional printing will be available the week before finals through December 17th.
And there are many different clubs at KU exposing students to a variety of new things. KUJH-TV's Jonathan Cooper shows us one that gives students a look into the past.
The 1930s were a different time. Alcohol was illegal, America was in the midst of a depression, and the dancing and music was simple and clean. But fast forward 80 years, and things have changed. Or have they? On this Tuesday night, in a small room on the 6th floor of the Kansas Union, about 25 KU students, born in the 1990s, dance like their grandparents did. They dance the swing.
There are no words to really describe it.
A lot of us just get together and dance, and we do it just because it's fun.
The group is the KU Swing Society. And every Tuesday night throughout the school year, they pay homage to the past.
That swing area, including from 1920s and up and stuff, was you know, such an era in our time here in America.
We do like to get dressed up sometimes. We'll all get dressed up in like fedoras and suits and stuff and go out and dance.
But tonight, they look like any other college kid. Jeans and t-shirts, dancing to music that most kids their age have never heard. And apparently dancing the swing is addicting.
It's something that I think once you really get a taste of it and once you really enjoy it, it's something that's hard to stop.
So I decided I should try, learn a new hobby. They taught me in less than 20 minutes, and despite my struggles,
I'm gradually getting a hold of it.
Although I'm not very good, the faithful members that come each week are. They have dedicated their time to perfect something from the past, and every week they come and have fun, much like their ancestors probably did decades before. Jonathan Cooper, KUJH-TV News.
While some students are dancing to music from the past, others choose a dance form a little bit more modern by mixing hip-hop with flash mobs. Flash mobs have been around for less than a decade. At the University of Kansas, Unity Hip Hop Dance Crew has been known to surprise the campus with flash mob routines of their own. But as KUJH-TV's Darren Dunn discovers, Unity is more than just a flash mob crew.
Blah, 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 blast off. Blah, 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 blast off.
Unity President Chelsea Ibarra wouldn't be at the University of Kansas if not for the hip-hop dance crew. As a KU club, Unity can have members that are not KU students, an exception Ibarra took advantage of when taking time off from school in 2006. Ibarra says Unity extends the simple definition of a dance crew.
Unity is more of a family to me. My family's 6 hours away, so when I come to practice, it's more than just dancing.
It is a way of life and a way of expression and a type of therapy.
Therapy that comes in the form of freestyle and choreographed dance. New member Tyron Smith says these two styles are at different ends of the spectrum.
You might think if you're good at freestyling, you're good at choreography, but that's not the case. It's like if you're good at choreography, it's usually difficult for you to freestyle, but if you're good at freestyle, it's difficult for you to do choreography.
When it comes to freestyle, Tyron says, don't think, do what the music tells you. In addition, adding a hat can add style, but taking the hat of an opponent can be seen as a major insult.
Each dance, each performance has everybody's personality, and even if I'm the choreographer for one song, each member gets to put their own style and their own emotion into it.
Each person individually just lives to dance, and it's part of who they are to their core.
Family, diversity, fusion. The group's goal is to bring about unity for all races through the common interest of hip-hop dance. Darren Dunn, KUJH TV News.
KU's dining may never be the same. That's right, Mrs. E's on Daisy Hill is getting a facelift. The 19-year-old dining hall is receiving a $3 million renovation. The renovation is set to begin after graduation in May and should be completed by August 23rd. KU Dining is also updating its menu to include foods for specialty diets, including gluten-free, kosher, vegetarian or vegan, and Islamic foods for a halal diet, while old favorites like the cereal and dessert bars will stick around.
A $2,500 reward is being offered to anyone with information leading to the arrest or conviction of a suspected arsonist targeting apartments in South Lawrence. On Wednesday, the Lawrence Douglas County Fire and Medical Department announced the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is offering a reward after more than a dozen suspected arsons occurred between West 23rd Street and West 25th Street and from Iowa Street to Naismith Drive. Anonymous tips will be accepted, and anyone with information is encouraged to call the fire department, the Lawrence Police Station, or the TIPS hotline.
Coming up after the break, find out why President Obama and Mitt Romney met behind closed doors today.
We'll also take a look at the weather and more. Stay with us.
Every year, 2 million kids play doctor by taking pills not prescribed to them. Talk to your kids about the dangers of prescription drug abuse. The partnership at drugfree.org.
Welcome back. It was a political power lunch of epic proportions. President Obama and his former rival Mitt Romney sat down at the White House today in what was their first meeting since the campaign. Stacey Cohen has the story.
From mudslinging.
Talk is cheap, but a record is real and it's earned.
Every time you've offered an opinion, you've been wrong.
To meal sharing.
The President of the United States is having lunch as we speak with Governor Romney.
President Obama and Mitt Romney broke bread at the White House today. The president first mentioned meeting with his former political rival in his victory speech on election night.
In the weeks ahead, I also look forward to sitting down with Governor Romney to talk about where we can work together to move this country forward.
Today, the president kept his election night promise and kept it private. The two were the only men in the room.
It's a private lunch, and we're going to leave it at that.
Since the election, the president has praised Romney's management skills, leading to speculation that perhaps Romney is in line for a job offer. But the White House put cold water on that idea.
You know, there was not an agenda that involves that kind of proposal that I'm aware of.
The civil sit-down is a sharp contrast to the combative campaign.
You cut permits and licenses on federal land and federal waters in half.
Not true, Governor Romney.
But with President Obama in tough negotiations with Republicans over the fiscal cliff, there's perhaps no better time to reach across the aisle or the lunch table to find a Republican ally. In Washington, I'm Stacey Cohen.
The White House issued a statement this afternoon saying the president and Mitt Romney pledged to stay in touch, especially if opportunities to work together arise in the future.
With the fiscal cliff deadline looming, lawmakers remain deadlocked on a way to cut spending and keep tax cuts in place for millions of Americans. During a speech in Washington today, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi made a plea to Republicans to end the stalemate.
Let's give a Christmas present to the American people. And all we're saying is we're willing to make the cuts. We want to go back to the revenue rates under the Clinton era, which were part of and enabled the private sector to have historic economic growth.
Lawmakers have 33 days to reach a deadline or else.
A key vote took place at the United Nations today. The Palestinian Authority sought non-member observer state status. That's one step up from its previous status as a permanent observer. Leader Mahmoud Abbas has been pushing for this for years. The vote amounted to an implicit recognition of Palestinian statehood from the UN, but the U.S., Israel, and the United Kingdom staunchly opposed the move. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said the only real solution will come through direct negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians.
The path to a two-state solution that fulfills the aspirations of the Palestinian people is through Jerusalem and Ramallah, not New York. We have made very clear to the Palestinian leadership, you know, I met with President Abbas just last week, that we oppose Palestinian efforts to upgrade their status at the UN outside of the framework of negotiations to achieve a two-state solution, because no matter what happens at the United Nations, it will not produce the outcome that this government, this president, and certainly I strongly support. And the only way to get a lasting solution is to commence direct negotiations, and we need an environment conducive to that, and we've urged both parties to refrain from actions that might in any way make a return to meaningful negotiations that focus on getting to a resolution more difficult.
Attempts to change the territory's status in the past have been routinely blocked. The Palestinians had permanent observer status at the UN since 1974. Palestine joins the Vatican as the only non-member observer state in the United Nations.
Let's take a look at our weekend forecast to see if we'll have a sunshine for our first weekend back from Thanksgiving break. Expect to enjoy sunny skies on the last Friday of fall semester with a high of 61. The weekend will start off on Saturday with mostly cloudy skies and a 20% chance of rain. On Sunday, those clouds will disappear, leaving mostly sunny skies and a high of 67 degrees. On Monday, the last week of class is off to a great start with mostly sunny skies and a warm temperature of 68 degrees. Tuesday will have slightly cooler temperatures with a high of 55 and sunny skies. Coming up after the break, we'll check in with Darren Dunn at the sports desk.
And we'll see what event officially started the Christmas season. Stay with us.
Look, it is not as easy as you think being hot, young, and still single.
Add that you have this annoying accent, and finding Mr. Right can be really tough.
We decided to pass a link around Facebook, trying to meet people in our area.
Well, they just assumed that we were virus or spam.
No one wanted to click it.
I don't know what's in second or third place in most people's lives, but I know what's in first, our children.
Native American youth are the most at-risk population in this country.
And that's why I created the Center for Native American Youth.
We are working with tribes and families to improve the lives of Native American children, and most of all, promote hope.
We focus on preventing teen suicide and shining a light on the challenges Native youth face.
Please help us build better opportunities for Native American children. Visit our website.
Welcome back. Well, Juliana, the Jayhawks play their last football game of the season this Saturday.
That's right, Brittany. The Jayhawks will take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Let's check in with Darren at the sports desk to see how that game's going to turn out. Darren?
Nine of the 10 Big 12 football teams are bowl eligible. The Lone Ranger? You guessed it, the University of Kansas. Bowl eligibility requires at least 6 wins against FBS teams. Kansas has 0, but having the worst record in the conference does have its perks.
The best year I ever had recruiting in the past was after the worst season, because more guys see an opportunity to play earlier. They all want to play. They all want to play.
10 Jayhawks, winless in 8 conference tries this season, look to end a 20-game losing streak in Big 12 play Saturday in Morgantown. West Virginia and Kansas have not met in football since 1941. With nearly 120 yards a game, James Sims needs to be key for KU. Charlie Weiss compared the back to NFL great Terrell Davis. Kickoff in Morgantown is set for 1:30 p.m. Never use the F word unless that word is finish. Kansas basketball almost learned the hard way that failure to finish often means a failure to win. The Jayhawks led by 24 in the second half, but watched the Spartans climb back within 8. The Jayhawks won the game behind Jeff Withey's triple-double. Officially, it is only the second triple-double achieved in Kansas history. Bill Self commended the 7-footer, but had choice words for KU's drought after leading by more than 20.
We sucked. Okay.
We couldn't pass it, dribble it, shoot it, screen it, rebound it. We didn't do anything. I don't know if that's ever happened. This would be a good one for Gary to look up. But has anybody ever gone 10 minutes in the field house without making a field goal? When you're up 24? I mean, I don't know if that ever happened. So yeah, we just were awful.
The Jayhawks are back in KC tomorrow against Oregon State for a 7 p.m. tip in the Sprint Center. Speaking of bad basketball, the women struggled early with Grambling State before blowing the Tigers out by 54. The Jayhawks were down 10 early, and Bonnie Henriksen was none too pleased.
Worst basketball in Allen Fieldhouse in the history of the Fieldhouse, and we were pretty bad, and that was disappointing. But you know, we got back into the flow and had a little more bounce to us, and you know, at the start of the second half, turned them over and became a layup drill, and should have had more of that in the first half. Would have been the recipe we'd kind of hoped to cook up.
Put their 6-0 mark on the line at home Sunday against Minnesota. Tip is set for 2 p.m. in Allen Fieldhouse. All Big 12 Coach of the Year. Enough said. Almost. KU volleyball coach Ray Bouchard received the honor after leading the Jayhawks to a 25-6 mark and an 11 seed in the NCAA tournament. But Bouchard knows success centers around the word with no letter I. The Jayhawks take on Cleveland State at home tomorrow night. KU earned home court advantage for the first 2 rounds. That's a look in sports. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Darren. Well, Brittany, I don't know about you, but it seems like everyone nowadays is just collecting all the new technology that's coming out.
I know. Well, a new smartphone or tablet could actually tell you more about you than you might think. A new survey suggests that married couples are more likely to own a tablet, while smartphones are more popular with single people. Of the more than 2,000 people surveyed, 49% of single people said they own a smartphone, compared with only 43% of married people. On the other hand, 45% of people who said I do reported owning a tablet, compared with 36% of singles. But the digital marketing company that released the survey, the search agency, said the ages of the survey takers, more than their relationship status, may have impacted the results.
There's nothing like the lighting of the Rockefeller Center tree to let you know it's Christmas time. New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg was on hand to help light the tree Wednesday night. The 80-foot Norway spruce came from New Jersey and was decorated with more than 30,000 multicolored lights. It will remain lit through the holiday season until January 7th.
That's all for your 4:30 newscast. For breaking news or an update on what's happening around town, log on to kansas.com.
And remember, if you see news happening, tweet us at KHH_news. Thanks for watching.